Hello, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our AMA session this week. My name is Dorian, and I will be your host today. Our apologies in advance for not being able to have the AMAs last week. Our development team, as well as our marketing team, were kept busy with upcoming events as well as mini games for our community. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone here for joining us today and showing support since our early stages. As mentioned plenty of times before, Metacity's ambitious vision of becoming the first leading build-to-earn cityverse ecosystem remains the target. Today, we are joined by our founder and creator of Metacity, Mr. Freddie Nguyen. Our AMA will consist of three parts. The first part is the greeting from our special speaker. The second part will consist of questions we have gathered to provide you with an overall understanding of our projects to come. Last but not least, we will have the Q&A session between you and our speaker. Please note, at the end, there will be a 200 USDT prize pool for the 5 most interesting questions with the rules below. Prepare your questions and stay tuned to see if you've been chosen. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce Mr. Freddie, our founder and CEO. Mr. Freddie will try to answer most of your questions about Metacity during this AMA session. Before we start, Mr. Freddie, could you briefly introduce yourself to the audience again? Sorry, Mr. Freddie, you are muted.
Hi, Dorian. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect right now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Yeah, welcome to our third AMA. I'm Freddie. I'm the founder of Metacity. It feels amazing to be back here in front of you. As I've mentioned before, I'm a software system architect with years of experience in this field, working more than 20 large-scale software projects across Asia. I've worked as an entrepreneur for a long time and founded many startups within this industry of technologies. Among these startups of mine, How3D has been known to be the most successful. I have taken software from How3D to implement them into the Metacity to be able to create what is seen to be our metaverse world. This is also what makes Metacity works as a digital creation.
Perfect. Okay, so thank you again, Freddie, for that recap. Most of our audience here will be our regulars, but of course, some of them will be our newcomers as well. I believe that our community should be well aware by now of Metacity's founder and CEO, of course. Now we will continue as scheduled for our next session, the Q&A
Yeah.
between host and guest. Now is the time to ask away. Feel free to ask anything regarding Metacity to be amongst the lucky winners that will have a chance to win the prize pool of 200 USDT. Before we get started, so for our first question, what are Metacity's vision and mission entering into the metaverse?
Yeah, our vision is to create to decentralize the creation of living space by continuously expanding the professional network to co-build the core metaverse graphics database, and eventually become a key leader in the metaverse city simulation. The opportunities that are impossible in today's real world are possible reality in the metaverse and definitely in Metacity. How can we do that? Firstly, we base this on our core technology called decentralized rendering system that enables users to render in high quality images at low cost. Secondly, Metacity is building a professional network, a network of designers and architects around the world. Lastly, Metacity is the first project that embraces the concept of co-creation and is leading the new trend called build to earn. We let users participate freely in creating and building at their preference.
Okay. So, well, from your answer, it really does seem like Metacity's plans and projections for the future, I guess, is set and clear. The fact that we can not only play but earn in Metacity, I think, plays a crucial key factor for expanding our target audience. Um, for our second question, in-house versus outsource, which is a better way, in your opinion, to do development within Metacity?
Uh, it's a very good question. Thank you. In-house refers to our existing team. We consist of a software development team, architecture design team, and other technical team, coders, and the marketers. We already have full-time team of 50 members and over 1,000 freelancers. In addition, our peer partnership with the Van Lang University, University of Industrial Fine Arts, and some other universities, we have trained more than 5,000 young talent in designing in the metaverse space and creating core metaverse data of Metacity. Instead of our outsourcing, we are partnering with many big players, such as Falcon for the decentralized storage and the OZ Game Studio in the field of game. They are a very famous casual game studio in Vietnam. And we have some other top architecture firms. We will announce them later. And the highly experienced in-house team and strategic partners play an advantageous point of in the development of Metacity. We are already used to this concept of designing, and this gives us a lead in that industry.
Of course, yes. With any startups, I think we have to consider the possibilities of outsourcing despite the strengths of our in-house team. It is indeed a strong point that the team comprises of ones that are familiar in this field. Interesting thoughts, Mr. Freddie. But before we continue, again, guys, just a small reminder, we have a prize pool of 200 USDT for the questions we will find most interesting. This prize pool will be divided by 5 people at 40 USDT each. Moving on for our third question, are both regulators and the general public ready for metaverse?
With anything in today's real world, rules are made and set in order to control society. The same will be applied in Metacity. Yeah, this metaverse world is a human endeavor that will inevitably attract its share destructive human behavior. However, we should use this as a reason to develop innovative ideas about governance with construction. In Metacity, the city council, the city council will be the organization community made of members who hold the Meti token. Everyone here is given the chance to vote and have a say in this council. Yeah, this city console will perform its functional roles based on DAO. When Metacity launches, our rules will be established gradually by every user involved.
Yes, I'd like to add a little. I couldn't agree with you more, Freddie. Our society, for example, will result in complete chaos if rules aren't implemented. It is actually a very interesting fact that Metacity will follow these steps of modern day society, I guess. I also believe the option where we allow all users to vote on certain rules means we also care about what everyone thinks and how they feel. Moving on to our fourth question and our final question. What are some of the upcoming events Metacity has planned? Are there any plans to give netizens new experiences?
Yes, in fact, we are planning to introduce the home redecor. It is a casual game, the first casual game in our series of Cityverse game in June. In June, we will release the home redecor. The home redecor is a casual game available on both browsers and mobiles. Allow players to redecorate their interior space using the template created by our professionals. And yeah, it will be the game that combines most two popular gameplays, the mat-3 game and the home decoration game. And more interestingly, we will have our NFT sales in July. Then you can also use our NFT in the home redecor right away.
Perfect. I think that's perfect. I think that giving our community a taste on how these games will run and function will always be a benefit. And I think that's what the community would want to see, of course. As for the home redecor, I find it not only interesting, but it's also quite convenient. We're able to use a variety of designs already made for us.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for part 3 of our AMA this week, will be between speaker and community. That concludes the questions to the speaker section. For the following section, it seems to always be the most interactive and interesting one. During our previous section, we have received a handful of questions from you guys. So now we will pick one by one some of the questions we find most appropriate and insightful to this AMA session. Let's see what we can pick from the questions that have been asked. Of course, we want to pick something that's most relevant or interesting in today's topic of discussion. So it seems like for our first question here is rather simple, but quite important, actually. How many types of players will there be in Metacity?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, in Metacity, we have 4 main types of players: the casual users, the casual players, the build-to-earn players, the design-to-earn players, and the metaverse explorer. Firstly, the casual players can play our casual games. For example, the upcoming game Home Redecor. All the casual game will be integrated to our Cityverse games. And the first game is the Home Redecor, developed by our in-house team, cooperate with our partner that are a famous studio game. I already mentioned before, the OZ Game Studio. Yeah. Secondly, for the build-to-earn players, they can take part in 2 different gameplays. The first is the outdoor construction gameplay we call the city builder. The outdoor construction gameplay, in that gameplay you can do the road building, functional building, park and landscape, and the city services. Secondly, we have the indoor construction gameplay in the home design game. In the home design game, you can do the home decorating, home services, and the multi-board production. So for the build to earn players, they also have daily tasks, personal tasks, personal contest. They can join the team contest. They can join the epic projects and the networking tasks. And the second type of players is I just told the design to earn players. The design to earn players, they are the architects and designers, the professional guys. Now, they create the NFT and in Metacity. They can use our Metacity toolset to plug in their familiar design software like the SketchUp, Blender, and they can use our decentralized rendering system to create high quality asset and sell it in the marketplace. And we are also expanding the Metacity professional network to join the design to earn activity. In addition, we have the metaverse exploring gameplay. So the player of the metaverse exploring gameplay, we call the metaverse explorer. Those players can use their VR avatar to visit their construction, or they can play the game of we call the game avatar care game. So they can also join the VR event and VR concert. We also offer fictional transportation technology such as the Metitrans or teleport explore the city.
Yes, of course. I believe we've actually touched on the topic of build to earn gameplay quite a few times already in our previous AMAs. I guess I see it's considered our key selling point, and I guess what also distinguishes us from other metaverse games. For our second question, I will pick the second question. What are different earning ways in Metacity?
Yeah, in Metacity there are 4 ways for user to earn money: playing, designing, rendering, and trading. First of all, users can play games every day, decorate the landscape, facade of buildings, or arrange interior space. In Metacity, there are also mini games that can earn extra source of income. Secondly, user can design to earn. If you are a professional planner or designer, just help us to create home and interior space designs to shape the aesthetic world in Metacity, and netizens will then able to buy them. Moreover, if your computer has good graphics card, if you own a high performance computer, then this is your chance to join our decentralized rendering infrastructure, and it will bring you a passive daily income. Finally, by trading property in the city, the building, the land blocks, and some many other type of properties in the city. You can invest them, and you can earn money from that.
Great, Mr. Freddie. Of course, we've seen a lot of interesting questions here, and thank you for your response there. For our next question, I find it quite hard to pick some certain questions, but just a pause for now for a quick reminder for those who shared the most intellectual questions. Our prize pool remains at 200 USDT spread across 5 winners. So be sure to ask away, and if your questions are not chosen for today's AMA, then our team will make sure to answer all of them through our community channels. Seems like for our third question, I've spotted something that could be of relevance. Mr. Freddie, what are your thoughts? What will your home redecor game consist of, and how will it function?
Thank you for the question. The mission of the players in our home redecor game is to arrange and decorate your house to own personal liking. We have many types of rooms, such as the veranda bedroom, girls' bedroom, the attic room, the living room and kitchen room. And at the beginning, the players will have an almost empty room with only few simple furniture placed. And then to decorate each room, the player must participate in a game called Metacity puzzle. Yeah, the Metacity puzzle, something like you guys may be familiar with the Candy Crush. Yeah, and by completing the Metacity puzzle, you will earn the money and unlock the furniture designed for that specific room.
Excellent interpretation of our upcoming game, Freddie. Excellent comparison with Candy Crush, of course. I believe that game is huge in today's world, so it gives us a bit of understanding of how the game will look like or how it will function. For our fourth question, I will have to pick: how will your project reach non-English communities? Do you have any plans to develop this project in different languages?
Yeah, for this question, we have partnered with the local community venture capitals and key opinion leaders, and they will reach out to non-English speaking countries. At the moment, we have supporting KOLs from India, Indonesia, Australia, Korea, and the countries in the CIS region. The KOL will help translate our posts to their local languages, as well as also organizing AMAs for local communities.
Okay, very, very interesting indeed.
Can you help me too?
Yes, Freddie, very, very interesting because if we can't reach communities that don't share the same language as us, I think everyone will find that it's almost impossible to reach them if you don't have these kind of key opinion leaders in those areas. As for our final question, I might have to be a bit picky here, but I seem to have found one that could be of relevance. So, Mr. Freddie, if I'm a professional designer and architect, why and how should I join Metacity?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Let me rephrase. Yes. as people can design and build buildings in Metacity, will there be a special software developed for these users to do this then?
Yeah, we already have some special software. We already developed it. We have some software from the How 3D for the interior design, and yeah, in Metacity. Sorry. Yeah, in Metacity, we have design to earn activities especially made for professional architects and designers. In Metacity, you can freely create NFT at low cost and without any physical limitation. We also have we are also developed some special technologies for the professional guys. For example, the 3D multiple intellectual property technologies.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you again, Mr. Freddie, for all that insightful information. I've read a lot of questions throughout this AMA session, but unfortunately, of course, as with all AMA sessions, we can't answer everything today. I hope you've all taken something in from this AMA session and maybe have increased your interest in what is to come for Metacity. For those who still have questions unanswered, rest assured our team will be sure to get back to you and hopefully have some clear response to those questions that have been answered. Mr. Freddie, if you have anything to say, we will hear it from you.
Well, I just want to say thank you again for joining our community and being here, listening to us. We are working hard to bring to life what was once considered a dream. Thank you, everyone, again for attending, and I hope to see you in our next AMA.
Thank you, Mr. Freddie. Thank you for your time again today, of course, and your personal input on Metacity. I'm convinced that our community today has gathered enough information and has taken a lot of interesting things in about the Metacity project and its future plans to come. Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone again that has participated in today's AMA, especially for those who have contributed their answers to our community. And I'd like to say Metacity will soon host another AMA and have planned many more exciting activities. So be sure to keep updated through our channels and for future events, I guess. And thank you all again, and see you in our next AMAs.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freddie.